Good morning. I'm Pam Levin. First, a little bit about my background. I was a multiple sclerosis nurse. I worked in clinical research and patient care for the International Multiple Sclerosis Management Practice and the Tisch MS Research Center of New York. I switched gears, got my yoga teacher certification, and now do therapeutic yoga with people with neurological impairments, and I also bring this work to many of the senior living communities where I live. I have a few questions for you today before we get started, so I just want you to raise your hand. Raise your hand if you've ever walked into a room and forgot why you went in there. I've done that. Have you ever missed a bill payment, saw that it wasn't due for another few weeks, set it aside, and poof, kind of forgot about it? I've done that. And has anyone asked, hey, what'd you do this weekend? And you thought, what did I do? What did I do? It's only Monday. Can't remember. You get there, but it takes a moment. So I have good news and even better news. The good news is it's normal to forget. And there can be many reasons that explain why this is happening. One, our brains age. So as we get older, our brain gets older. You might refer to a moment of forgetting something as a senior moment. We have hormones. We have hormones during pregnancy, during menopause, and these hormones can affect our memory as well. Medication or treatment that you're on, some are known to actually cause a brain fog, and you can end up forgetting things here and there. But what if there's a history of dementia or Alzheimer's in your family? Then what? Well, you're probably wondering, what's that even better news? And we're going to get to it, I promise. But first, I just want to talk about our brains and what's happening specifically with our nerves. So nerves are like cables that carry electrical impulses from your brain to the rest of your body. These impulses help you feel sensations. They help you move your muscles. Nerve cells are also called neurons. So you might remember from science class, neurons, and I'm going to use my hand here as a demonstration. If this is the neuron, we have a cell body located right in here. There are dendrites that are these finger-like structures branching out. There's the axon, which transports the impulse. And then there's the myelin sheath, which is the coating or insulation surrounding the nerve fibers. And then there's a synapse. This is the point where two nerve cells meet and transmit the message or impulse to other nerves. So now, as amazing as these neurons can be, they can be damaged. For example, your brain might send the message, I'm going to take a step. That impulse begins to travel, but if the myelin sheath, the coating around that nerve, is damaged, the impulse will stop and you'll have difficulty taking that step. Who here remembers those curly rubber phone cords that came out of the handset? I remember that. So you can think of that rubber coating that surrounded the cord as the myelin sheath. And if you had ever cut into that phone cord, you would notice tiny little wires, all different colors, and these would be the nerve fibers that the myelin sheath is coating and protecting. So for example, in multiple sclerosis, the body is attacking itself and damaging the myelin sheath. It's damaging this coating, causing the impulse to stop right in its tracks. Now in Alzheimer's or dementia, there is a loss of those connections between the neurons, and the signals that neurons routinely send to one another are slowly choked off. They're scrambling the way the brain makes and recalls memories. There are physical indicators of Alzheimer's, and these are protein clusters throughout the brain. They are called tau tangles or amyloid plaques. They spread and destroy the brain circuits and the cells that create them. Now, the damage initially takes part in the part of the brain involved in memory, mainly the hippocampus. It can also spread into other parts, including the cerebral cortex. For a long time, researchers believed the brain couldn't change. It was believed that after childhood, the brain pretty much stayed the same throughout life. However, science has proven this isn't true. Neuroplasticity. What is neuroplasticity? Although brains are more malleable in childhood, they continue to adapt throughout life. Brains can change, and brains do change. Brain cells can grow new branches to connect to other cells. They can also strengthen or weaken those connections or synapses, resulting in new pathways in the brain. New neural pathways in the brain, that is neuroplasticity. Now, one of the main principles of neuroplasticity is specificity. What is that? You must train your brain in very specific ways, like learning something new, whether it's a language or a hobby or travel. Retraining an old skill also can help increase those connections in the brain, but you must have specificity. By introducing breathing, meditation, movement, and yoga practices sooner than later, we can help people to create those new neuronal pathways and skills that can help them self-soothe, cope better during stressful situations, move better, and strengthen the mind-body connection. I'm here today to teach you Kirtan Kriya. This is a meditation from the Kundalini Yoga tradition. Kundalini Yoga is a combination of breath, movement, and sound. The idea is that we all have energy, and this is gathered at the base of our spine, and through the practice of Kundalini, we bring that energy up our spine, through the 7 chakras, and out the crown of our head. With Kirtan Kriya, practicing for just 12 minutes a day has been shown to reduce stress levels and increase activity in the areas of the brain that are central to memory. It's the integration of a mantra, which is a chant, a mudra, which is a symbolic hand gesture, and visualization. In this case, our visualization for Kirtan Kriya is forming an L, like this. And it starts at the top, goes in the crown of the head, comes out the 3rd eye chakra, and straight out. So that's the visualization for Kirtan Kriya. This combination, the chant, the mudra, the visualization, this all engages and activates conscious awareness. Conscious awareness, that's the true goal of a yoga practice. So let's see. We have less stress, better sleep, better mood, and enhanced memory. Who's ready to give this a try? Raise your hand.